Hello, Mr. Red here. Today is May 30th, 2020, and I'm in scenic Bayou, Lacombe, Louisiana. Man, this place is really nice. Right on one of the little waterways off of the bayou, but we are in Lacombe, Louisiana. It's only about 25 miles from the Abbey, not far. But this place is loaded with bees. It's the marsh area. This is right next to Lake Pontchartrain, this whole area. Right next to Lake Pontchartrain, so there's a lot of marsh area. And in marsh area, there's tons and tons of habitat as well as food for bee colonies here. So there's a big feral bee colony population here. And most of these homes are all built elevated, at least 10, 12, 14 feet off the ground. And these provide ideal living conditions for hives where they'll get up inside of underneath the floor joists and they'll start building their hives. And it's just a very common thing to find in this area, as well as any area, marshy area around Louisiana that has elevated houses or camps. And some of these are camps, some of these are homes, but a lot of these things are actually residents of the people. But this is a great, beautiful location. And today, our bees are located, in the floor space underneath the house. And it's actually the homeowner has her neighbor, Steve, who's going to be helping me with this morning. He's the one who called me up and said, we got bees over at my neighbor's. Can you come and take them out? So I'm over here today to remove the bees with the assistance of Steve. And I want to shoot the video showing you where the bees are going up inside of the area of the house. But he's all gung-ho enthusiastic, so he's already taken down some of the soffit or the siding material that's up underneath the house and not exposed the bees, but shown where the insulation is, and the bees are behind that insulation. So all I'm going to have to do is remove that insulation. We'll show you the bees. He set up scaffolding for me. I mean, this is going to be fun. I'm just by myself. Well, not really, because Steve's with me. But Steve's wife and the neighbor, they're here, and then the dogs, the cats, everybody's here. It's going to be like a big party out here today. So come on, let's go wrangle some bees, and by the blessings of God, these little bees right here, these Lacombe bees, I think they're going to be going up to the Abbey real soon. Let's wrangle, huh? Like I said, it's a party over here. Yes. So tell me what the cat's name is.
This is Gracie.
Gracie?
And her sister's name is Hope.
And we got Steve is sitting on the chair right there.
And we got Foo-Foo. We got our little puppy Foo-Foo over there. Come here, Foo-Foo.
And everybody's going to be sitting on the bench right here.
Watching you.
As we remove the bees that are over there. And there's the scaffolding that Steve's got set up for me.
You're going to see the bees.
So let me go over there and show you what we're going to be looking at over here. And like I told you, Steve, he's very rambunctious. He's ready to get this job over with. So he's taking down the piece of siding right here to showing where the bees are going to be. I would have showed you with the FLIR where the bees are, but I can't now. We can just look at them right there. So you can see the insulation right underneath that piece of siding. And I'll finish pulling that siding down. And then once I pull it down, pull that insulation down, and we'll expose that hive. And you can see the great ingenuity that Steve was doing to keep the bees out. He took his pole, put a little hardware cloth on it and stuffed it up in there, and the bees went right around it. But he did try to keep them out, but to no avail. So let's go ahead and remove these bees permanently, and we'll get these girls up to the Abbey. I know for a lot of you all, you're familiar with the bee vac that I use, but there's so many people that are just coming on to the channel. So I want to talk about the bee vac just a little bit before I start the removal. And what a bee vac is simply a vacuum cleaner, but it's a specially designed vacuum cleaner that has low vacuum on it. And in fact, I've got a regulator on the top of the vacuum to regulate the amount of suction that the bee vac gives. And all the bee vac is, it's a bottom box, and it's got an elevated ramp inside of it. What happens is, as the bees are vacuumed into the opening right here, they'll go inside the box, which is dead air inside of it. The only vacuum is inside the hose out here. Bees will get in the box, bottom, and they'll walk up this ramp. And then what do they, when they walk up, I'm not real organized. When they walk up, they're going to be walking onto these frames that are put inside of the box. Now the purpose of these frames is simply for the bees, to allow the bees to get on this frame instead of clustering up on top of the bee vat. Because what happens is bees cluster up, they generate a tremendous amount of heat. That heat that they generate will actually cook the bees and kill them. So by putting the frames in the box, then this allows the bees to separate out, and in that separating out, it dissipates the heat in a bit of way. It spreads it out. That's the reason the frames are set inside the vacuum box itself. So once we have the box set on top of our port that vacuums our bees inside, get the next piece of equipment, which is the part I dropped, the screen. Now this screen serves a couple of functions. Initially, it traps the bees inside of the box right here, but most importantly, after the vacuuming is complete, it allows, once I remove the lid, it allows all that heat that's generated inside of this box from the bees to dissipate. It just rises up. You can actually feel the heat of the bees when you put your hand over it after you vacuum it. They generate a lot of heat. So the bees can cook themselves, like I said, and by allowing that heat to escape, then that allows the bees to survive. And so then the last part of our box is just the top, where I attach my vacuum head right here, which is just a leaf blower. And there's a number of ways of constructing one of these boxes. I built this VVAC several years ago. In fact, I'll include a link to that video, and also I'll include the link for the gate down here, because it's really hard to find that gate, but I'll include the link to that gate in case any of y'all are interested in building one of these yourselves. And one other thing that before I want to talk about, on the lid itself, this little gate right here, I open and close this to regulate the amount of vacuum inside of the box. So it's set right now, so I don't once I find the setting that it's right where you have enough vacuum to pull bees in, but not enough vacuum to kill the bees as they're being vacuumed in. That's the setting that I want. So I keep it right there, so I don't want to move it. But it just slides. It slides in this little track right here that I've made. Now, like I said, all this is I made this myself. You can build using a deep box. You can cut a deep box and make your board right here and your board right here. And so it's really simple box of BVAC to make. So that's about it. We're going to go ahead, and now the vacuum is set, pretty much set up. We'll go ahead and pull down the rest of this siding and show you what our beehive looks like. So I wasn't going to show you with the FLIR what it looks like, but since that siding is pulled down and that insulation is exposed a bit, I'm going to go ahead and show you. You can see a little bit better where the bees are. And if you see the two dots, let's see if we can get them. There you go, there's our two dots. And we have comb, at least bees sitting on the comb, at least that far back. So I'm going to have to remove the next piece of siding as well. And then we'll cut the netting that holds that insulation up and reveal the bees. Let's see what we're looking like. And there it is. Wow-wee. Now, I was told they've only been here for about 5 weeks. So in 5 weeks, they built all this comb. That was a really big swarm that moved into here. Very impressive. I'm going to start vacuuming from the rear end of this instead of by the column. Trying to push the bees. I don't want the bees to run any further into that space, that joy space. And if you can tell, these are 2x12, so you know that comb is going to be really deep. It'll be 9 inches. It frames up really good inside of a frame. So that is one good thing. Oh my goodness, this is some healthy looking bees. All right, enough talk, let's vacuum. Wow-wee. That is some massive comb. In the 2x12, it's really nice when they just build it straight across, but these guys decide to go at an angle which almost doubled the length of it, and it's already, gee whiz, this is at least 11, if not more, inches deep. So these guys have really got some massive slabs of comb. And so far it's all been pretty new and soft. I've got a couple of good pieces that I know I'll be able to frame up. But oh my goodness, this hive is very large. It's deceiving how large this hive is, the way they've placed the comb inside of the floor space. And I still got, at least 7 more sections of comb back there to pull out. No sign of the queen other than all the brood. The brood's been kind of sparse. You can see some right here in the corner right here. There's a little bit of worker brood right here, but there was a little bit of drone brood as well. I got that taken care of. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna change the angle of the camera, give you a better shot maybe, see if I can get some better shot of this and remove some more of this comb. So we got the party is still going on, you see?
Hi guys!
They're the brave ones. I'm wearing a suit and they're just out here just in their shorts. Everything's just a party.
Yeah, bee party!
Look at this! The party is getting bigger! Look at this! Unbelievable!
Party.
Everybody wants to come see the queen!
Yes, absolutely.
What is this? Like,
He said the queen's no bigger than a big.
I gotta ask you, where's the buffet? With all these people here, it got to be lunch served somewhere, huh?
We got coach meals.
Coach meals?
Yeah,
Oh, what, they coming on the way?
From the government.
Oh yeah, I know who they are.
Cooking.
All right, no talking, no talking, no talking. So we're down to about the last 4 pieces up in there. And hopefully our queen is still up in there. Woo-wee, that is some comb and some bees. Woo. All the comb is out now. And there's just that little tiny cluster of bees up there that's left. And there's only one thing I got that'll run those things out. You know what it is? Come on, guess. Bee quick, that's right, or honey robber, or honey bandit. That's right, so I'm gonna squirt a little bit of that up in there, and hopefully I'll never. Let's see what happens. Got my fingers crossed and I'm praying. Well, did all that work, and I didn't see the queen, but I know I vacuumed her this time. And how do I know I vacuumed her? Because of this. When you see the bees at the exhaust of the vacuum head, she's in there. So what happens as the vacuum is running, her pheromone is spreading. And I should have showed it before, but as it was running, all the bees were along the post right here where the vacuum was hitting up. And then I stood right there, stood in this area right here and let the bees get on my legs. So just to confirm, she's in our box. I did not see her. All right, let's take off. Do one more vacuum and we're gonna go ahead and show you how many bees we got in the comb. So before we wrap this up, show you the bees. Man, this is a lot of bees. And I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. When I turn these bees loose, I'm just gonna open them up after we frame up the comb. And we're gonna turn the bees loose on the comb. Hopefully we can find our queen. Who knows, the end of this video might show you us having a queen. There's all our bees. And look at the comb in here. My goodness, this is some serious comb. I hope I shot some good video for you. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Fans all loaded up. Bees, queen inside of the vacuum box, and the comb is inside one of those ice chests. I don't know which one. So that's all I got for you in this one. Thanks for watching. Boy, what a party it was. Keep on watching. I'll be making more. God bless. Mr. Ed, I'm out here until the next video. All the comb is framed up now and getting ready to turn these bees loose on it. Like I said, I don't want to pull that screen out of there because it may kill the queen. So I'm just going to release the bees onto the comb right here. Let's see if we can find our queen this way, huh? Ooh, there's gonna be some bees coming out of here.
Oh gosh.
Oh, there's a lot. There'll be a lot, because they're gonna come out hot.
Oh gosh.
You got a suit on.
I know.
They're not even gonna go by you. Well, they might.
Oh, there she is.
Look at that, Jenny found her. Good eye, Jenny.
I have a clip thingy.
In my pocket. There's a
Right
clip.
here. She's got one right here. Oh wait, it's broken.
Yeah.
Never mind.
See what would happen if I would have taken that screen out? It'd have killed her. Not you ready? Let's get her out of there. Shoot. She went into the box. Ah. Ah. Oh, look at that. Oh well. She's in the box. We tried to catch
somewhere in
her.
there.
But she's in there for sure. We got us our queen. I don't know how I missed her out there, but thank you, Jesus, for getting the queen in here. So we're just going to bump these bees into here now. Everybody's going to go in here anyway. Oh, Jenny, you are awesome, girl.
Thank you. Oh, there she is.
Yeah. Catch her. Catch her. Catch her. Got her? She was coming out, but the bees were going in, but we're going to make sure she stays in there. We're going to finish putting all these bees in there and put her right on top to keep all the bees in our box. Also to show you how good that vacuum works. Look, there's hardly any dead bees in here. It's awesome. It's great.